everyone's really great at making Star Wars.
Parts of Kyber, high in fiber, thermal exhaust port to your colon.
The strongest stars have parts of Kyber.
With MakingStarWars.net.
Hey, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and whatever. I'm Rob, and this is Jason, and we're a show that talks about Bruno.
Jason, all day yesterday when we weren't doing a show, because I was not doing a show early, I kept saying, the strongest farts are farts of Kyber. And my wife was like, stop it. The strongest farts are farts of Kyber.
Once you start, you can't.
Yeah, you can't stop. It's so good. So good.
So, Thrawn soon? I would imagine the leaks from today are from the D23 sound rehearsals and stuff. So, that's where most of the shit's come out. So, I would imagine Thrawn is right on the way, unless there's a weird story thing, Max says, I'll have to watch this one when I get home. Have fun. No, Max, you pull over right now, stop work, and you watch. So, yeah, before we get too far into the show, don't forget Andor.
To be fair, though, Jason, Jason, to be fair, she doesn't even stop the car to eat Taco Bell. She just one hands that right over the steering wheel.
Shit. She just puts it in her hand, tosses it out the window while she's driving. Mailbox getting shit.
Yeah, like Ron Burgundy style, right? Just burrito out the window.
Yeah, they call it the Zandau torpedo. Watch out.
If only Jason, if only this were a Star Trek show, the Zandau torpedo would be a weapon we could fire all the time.
Yeah. Max is like, set phasers to stun. All right. Our friend, our friend Star Wars Santa, his father was in a terrible accident. Dude's like 75, hit by a speeding car, and they could use any cash to help with helping him live in his home. And nobody knows what insurance will cover, what they won't. If you could help, there's the GoFundMe. By all means, give $1 if you can. It's much appreciated. And once again, too, if you missed Rogue One last week, there's my kids singing it. Look how happy they are. Rogue One's coming out next week again. So you have a week to go see it again if you want to. I guess it did well enough that they decided to throw some more dates out there. So
imagine if they'd actually fixed the visual effects, Jason.
Oh, right. I know. That would be nice.
Everyone would be like, oh my God,
Yeah. So this makes me laugh for a lot of different reasons. But Bori's Kit, true news. Fan favorite Star Wars character Ezra Bridger has been found. Rising actor Iman Esfandi to play part in Ahsoka, now in production. And see the picture that they're using down there where he looks like a fucking Disney prince. When I saw him in the armor, when they were doing that costume test, he looks like the guys on the left there. That's way more what he looked like, by the way. Not that fucking prince in the middle picture from the tweet. Just so you guys know. So I wouldn't be surprised if they cast this guy with the intention that they can do flashbacks with that beautiful fucking feathered hair, and it looks like Aladdin from the Disney cartoon, Star Wars Rebels Aladdin edition. They could.
He looks like the Prince of Persia, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, big fan of that game series. And
yeah,
not like Gyllenhaal, but
so when I saw that video and I was hearing Yvonne, they were saying Iman. Oops. But that's why I ran it as a rumor. And like I said, though, he had that hair on the left. Yeah. That hair on the left. That's what we're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then one last thing, in case yesterday's show started.
I wanted
with
the Cabbage Patch looking dude though, because he looked like my buddy, my childhood best friend growing up. No, the one you reported on, the other guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he had that cat. He has the same face my buddy growing up has. So I look at him like, yes, yeah. Anger everybody. This.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, the one that would do the Ewok thing in the 4th grade. He go, I get that, like right in my ear and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, good move.
But I'm happy with the casting though, because the guy, you know, when you look at the differences between him here and here, it's convincing. I don't think he's going to look like a bitch the whole time. I mean that respectfully. When you're in Star Wars and you're supposed to be out, you know, you shouldn't look like fucking Prince Valiant if you've been stranded on a fucking forlorn planet for years or whatever the story ends up being. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I was always kind of afraid of when Disney took over, that they would just go full on bitch face casting for every fucking dude. And but this is a pretty good
Grand Inquisitor.
What's that?
Like the Grand Inquisitor.
He's cool. I don't know what you're talking
about. Watch Jason take it all back.
Yeah. By the way, did you happen to put on the Kenobi behind the scenes video from Disney Plus yet?
Nope.
Did you watch it or nope?
No.
Okay.
We gotta watch
Nope
that.
Yet? Did you watch Nope
What?
yet? Have you seen Nope?
No.
I mean, watch it when you feel like, obviously, but I want to hear what you think about that movie. Dude, like, I put it on again while I was like going to bed, you know, and it's just like my impression of it after having seen it is it's just like people looking at big screens of Star Wars playing while they talk about how great it is to be back. Like, I'm not even kidding. Yep. And like, they look bewildered and lost during a lot
that
of
was
it.
every. I told you that when they were doing the promo circuit for Book of Boba Fett and for Kenobi on like Empire Online and their podcast, it's every time a Star Wars interview starts, it's with, I just had to pinch myself. Oh, it's just so great. It's so important. It's the best ever. And this is why I've been trying to tell you, Jason, when I say they claim Star Wars is the best ever, I know you go, no, they don't. No, they really do. You don't hear this when they're on a fucking Ant-Man movie. No one goes, I had to pinch myself. I was on an No, they go, it's fucking Ant-Man. It's ridiculous. Isn't it? Isn't they glad we all have jobs? Thank you. Like, they're appreciative, you know? You don't hear this from anybody but Star Wars, and it's so frustrating because, you know, that's why it's a breath of fresh air when you do hear Gilroy say something of some substance about the thing they're working on that goes beyond, I'm just so glad to be here working on Star Wars. I just don't give a shit how fucking glad you are to be working on Star Wars. What was it like? What was day one?
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not hiring you. We're not hiring you. We don't get to even rehire you. Stop telling us how happy you are to have a job. You know, America, what a country, you know, like, come on, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, they do that constantly. And that is one of the things I appreciate about Gilroy the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he doesn't have his head up his ass with this franchise, you know?
Yeah.
And it's refreshing. I mean, you don't even hear, it's weird is you get a little bit of it from some of the actors on the Batman, but for the most part, it's all about like actually making it. And when Matt Reeves was on with Jeff Goldsmith on the Q&A podcast, like, it's all about how it actually got made, how he wrote it, how long it took him, how inefficient his writing process is. He's like, I'm totally inefficient. But that's a real conversation. No one has real conversations about making Star Wars. I don't understand why. Like even as PR puffy.
Wait, what did you just say?
You know, everyone's really great at making Star Wars.
Thank you.
This is what I'm talking about, man.
Thank
like,
you,
it's just, it's so, how many, look, I don't do well with people repeating words over and over again. You know, like the third time it's funny. Anytime after that, I got to get the fuck out of this conversation. It's madness. It's like a religious mantra. If we just keep saying it, we'll all believe it. You know, like, and I'm like, are you just trying to convince yourself this shit's fun? I don't think it's fun. You know, I think the funnest I've ever seen on the set of a Star Wars movie in recent memory was when Favreau and Filoni were looking up at you and your kid and pointing while you were like, snap, like that.
But
That
what
was
about
fun.
when all of the resistance fighters were dancing like this, and then they were able to make that into GIFs, and I was able to send every single tweet I ever sent doing this the whole time? What about that time? Sorry.
And what I was trying to say was, even as like, as fluffy, for the lack of I don't have a good word for it, as a fluff puff piece as the Gareth Evans bit on the Rogue One on the Star Wars channel that we read. Gareth Edwards, sorry. At least that read something like a real conversation to an extent, right? Completely omitting
Dan Brooks at StarWars.com. He's a real motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is that it?
Yeah. I don't know. You know, I haven't talked to him in years or anything like that. But
well, I like the work.
He's like, he that guy. You know, I think if he was just left to his own devices, StarWars.com would be brilliant. It would be more like that. That interview that we got with Gareth, that was brilliant. That's what you should be getting on StarWars.com.
And I think we're gonna get real conversations when Mangold fucking they unleash the Mangold on fucking Indiana Jones. Unleash the Mangold, and he just comes out there, you know, just runs roughshod over the internet.
Well, that's why I'm kind of. I mean, like I'll be honest, like I'm like kind of on the fence about D23. I keep talking myself into going for Saturday and not going. But when I think about Mangold up there for Indiana Jones, and they're like, suck the golden cock of Mickey Mouse. He'll be like, it was all right. Harrison Ford is really old and he broke his arm, and he'll run away. It'd be funny. But yeah,
I wonder if he's one of those guys. I've never heard him actually talk. So like, what if it's one of those guys that's super aggressive online, but then in real life his voice is like, Indiana Jones 5, and I talk like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
you're like this mother. All right. You know, not what what I envisioned.
That's not what Logan would say. When we watch the behind the scenes of Wolverine.
Just had to pitch myself when I was on Indiana Jones. All right.
Nah, he's the kind of dude who, like, Disney shows up and they're like, listen, you can't do this. This is a kid's movie. And then he's like drinking from a flask and he puts down and he spits the whiskey in their face and says, we'll fix it in the edit. Okay, that's not true at all. He's just a normal filmmaker. He just has a badass last name.
There's nothing normal about a guy whose name is Mangold. Mangold. I mean, there's nothing normal.
Just
that's exceptional.
You're making it Mangold, and it's just man.
Bro, I say everything the way Jason Mewes would say it. It's Mangold.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's how I roll. That's how I roll.
So anyways, Tyrant says, channel member, friend, Episcopalian. D23 just showcased an artist who focused on NFT art presented by Visa. All the things I want to see from the gaming panel. Yeah, we were going to focus on the gaming panel this episode, and then word kept getting around that it didn't sound good. I spoke to Bespin. I hope I'm not overstepping here. I don't think Bespin had big faith in things panning out for this panel, being more than like a Lego Star Wars kind of announcement thing, which, hey, I'm excited for them to make Lego Star Wars packs. Don't get me wrong. It's just not necessarily something that I would tune in for, you know? So I actually had the stream up and everything. I took it down. I said, well, we'll just see what happens. You know,
I'm just waiting for them to announce Inspector Mickey in the Curious Case of the Bored Apes. You know what I mean? It's fucking dicks. These corporate fuck faces. I fucking look, and I'm being super harsh on them because we need to be. Like, Disney is absolutely horrible with video games. And I do believe, had Walt never died, right? Like, if he just continually lived, that's a dude who would have been like on video games so fast. You know, like video games, 3D animation. And Disney's just one of those ones like, just sit back and find a way to turn it into like an e-ticket at fucking Disney, you know? Nothing with any innovation.
Did you see the fucking new statue?
No.
Dude, I was rolling, dude. It looks like he's taking a shit. Like I was like, are you guys
What?
serious? Walt Disney, wait, statue. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up really quickly. I totally forgot about it. I was like, yeah, it like he's supposed to be like all like casual and shit. I mean, it's just asking to be photoshopped onto a fucking toilet. Okay, I found it. This, I mean, it should be called like Walt's Toilet Thoughts or something, like, because if you were ever wondering what it looks like when Walt Disney was taking a shit, if he was made out of gold, well, now we have the answer.
Why? Look, you got to understand. When I was in Walt's apartment with the Disney hostess who was giving us a guided tour of that thing, the one above the firehouse at Disneyland, I could not get my head over that I was in the bathroom where Walt took a shit, and I put my hand in the shower right where I figured his dick's
Did
probably right around here, just covered.
You're like, I'm touching Walt's shit. This is where Walt's fecal matter.
Just go in there. Yeah, just pull out fucking what they eat back in the day, Hershey's, like it's still in there. You know, something without milk in it. Yeah, that's not good, man. Who approved that?
I mean, there's like the actual statue in Disneyland. They made Mickey Mouse like the right size where if you go to the side of it from the profile, you can't see Mickey and you just see Mickey's nose coming out of his crotch and it looks like a fucking dick coming out of it.
Yeah, they love to edit out all the ways he was smoking a cigarette, but Mickey's nose as a dick, that they're cool with, you know.
So Chilean Airways, as we call them around here, says, I know Rebels wasn't everyone's favorite, but personally, I really liked it, so I'm very excited. And like I've said a lot, like the story of Rebels, I absolutely love the story. Like if you took all of Rebels and put it into like a compendium, and you just laid it out, and I told Rob the story, he would be like, "Oh fuck, that sounds great." And then when you go to watch it, and Ezra's like, "Whoa, rocket packs! Oh no!" That's where it like breaks the immersion. But that's not every episode at the same time, which is what made it weird. It was like somebody where you're like, as soon as you start to trust them, they start fucking. They're off the wagon. They're like Walt, you know. It's like taking the shit, drinking in the bathroom while nobody's looking. And but I would say I liked it way more than I disliked it, you know. So if we gave that, if I gave that impression that like I hate it or something, I don't. It's just I like it when it's really working. I wish it had stuck to the conventions of the Star Wars cinematic universe more than going Disney XD. A lot of there were choices in there. I've had it confirmed to me that they were told at times, make this more for the Disney XD audience. Which was a stupid idea because where's the fucking Disney XD audience now? You know, it was a bad idea.
On Fortnite.
Fuck you. That ain't true
at all. You watch both, Jason. That's all I'm saying.
You know what's actually funny? Like whenever I am on Fortnite and like I have like in like open, like I have like the mic on or whatever, and I'm like playing with like teams and stuff. They always see my name and they're always kids. And I was like, yeah, I don't know shit about that. I'm like, it's cool, man. It really doesn't matter. It's fine. You know what I mean? They're always just like hardcore gamers, like at the end of the day. So making sure there's nothing going on. So, yeah. But anyways, I want to know what your guys' expectations are for D23 on Saturday, because mine is
tomorrow's the big day, right?
Tomorrow's Saturday. Yeah, tomorrow is the big day, and I think it's going to be a big day for Lucasfilm itself. Like if you're a big fan of Lucasfilm in its entirety, I think this little president here, President Willow Ufgood, I expect that we'll maybe get something from Willow. I think Indiana Jones. I'm hoping for the title reveal of Indy. That's my big hope for tomorrow. And that's Lucasfilm's next film. So that needs to be put into context. The next Lucasfilm movie is Indiana Jones 5. So what does that tell you about tomorrow? They're not going to go and make a big deal about anything bigger than Indiana Jones 5. Indiana Jones 5 is the next push. They need to get that baby out of the cooch, or the whole thing is just going to fall apart. You know what I mean? Legs going to fall off. And so that's what they have to do. So expect there to be the biggest Indiana Jones news. The rumor is that there's no news about new films, which could be held close, close to the cup, so to speak, until the time comes. So, but I wouldn't expect any. The cast for Skeleton Crew, I'm about 99% sure is coming tomorrow. And people know who it is. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't drop it. I don't think you should drop it. Like fucking less than 24 hours before it's going to come out at the convention. At that point, fucking let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
let it go.
If you had it 2 weeks ago, cool. But like at this point, like the day of the convention, I don't think so. I wouldn't do it on that one. I know maybe that's contradictory. Maybe it makes me a hypocrite. I don't know. But when the names that are out there, I don't even know who most of them are, so I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. But so tomorrow I would predict a little bit of inside baseball, but I predict we will have the full Skeleton Crew cast. We will have more Ezra. We'll have the Ezra casting. And we will most likely have Indiana Jones and Willow stuff. And then they're probably going to go and show everything that they showed at Celebration. Maybe there'll be a couple of new shots. Maybe it'll be a slightly changed and improved from then. But the Ahsoka footage that we saw, the Mando trailer, probably, and they might throw in something new into that. But so I'm expecting it to sort of look like that. And I think if that's where your head's at, you'll probably be in the realm of satisfied. Would be great if they came out and announced a new movie tomorrow. That'd be awesome. That was the plan. But I don't think it's going to happen. And like there was that Damon Lindelof movie, right? That was being written. But if he's not done, see, the problem is they keep announcing their intent, not movies that are actually greenlit. When Patty Jenkins is going, like, they haven't given Patty Jenkins, $200 million to go make Rogue Squadron. They've said, okay, Patty, write it, and then when we see the script, we're going to budget it, and then we're going to greenlight it. We're going to go, like, the producers are going to give a budget and all that kind of shit. We don't ever get to that spot. Now, I'm not saying they don't tell Patty what they're going to probably aim for. Like, Patty, dream big, but dream $200 million big, for instance, or dream at a $90 million big, whatever it happens to be. They're not going to, and so Lucasfilm has a thing of announcing films that are not greenlit, and then we don't forget about it, and we're like, where's Ryan's trilogy? When are the Game of Thrones guys gonna come out with their Star Wars movies? And never. I think Ryan's will eventually happen because of his good relationship with Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm itself. I just don't think it's fucking like in any way in the present tense. I expect it to be around 2030, to be honest with you, looking at that guy's schedule. And by the way, there was a new trailer for Glass Onion. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard good things. I
like it.
You like it?
I like it. I'm hoping when he does his third one, I would really. Did you ever see the series Lupin on Netflix?
No.
Based off, so in France they wanted their own version of Sherlock Holmes back in the day. When I say back in the day, I mean literally when Sherlock Holmes was new.
Fucking Frenchies.
So they knocked off their own called Arsène Lupin, who was like a master thief, right?
Okay.
And then they had him actually team up with Sherlock Holmes, right? 'Cause the Holmes dude was like all fucking pissed and shit. And so they're like, how about Sherlock Holmes? Ha! Classic French move. Anyway, there's a fun Netflix series. It's not a serious series, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
So is he Indiana Jones to James Bond for French people?
Yeah, like that. And so the actors, he's in charge of the show and he stars in it. He's super good. And I'm like, that's a guy that Rian should put one of these Knives Out flicks. Like, super fun good. But the trailer was great, man. It's super, can't wait. Like, that's my second. I'm looking forward. Avatar 2 and The Glass Onion are my two top looking films, that I'm looking forward to the most. So,
Good
put it this way, if it was on Netflix, I would probably brave it and go to the theaters to see it. That's how much I want to see that Knives Out too.
I heard that Netflix is going to start dropping the binge model because no one else is doing it, and they don't have to be competitive. So they're supposed to start going to weekly shows as well.
They start putting up movies. They cut movies up into 20-minute segments, so you got to every week, and then it assembles the whole film. Yeah.
Chapter 1.
Dicks.
Yeah. Nolan says, "Hey, how's it going, Nolan? Been a long time. What's up? Will you guys record Rob's live reaction if they announce Book of Boba Fett season 2 tomorrow?" So, Rob, are you on the same page as me with Book of Boba Fett? If they go to do it, that it has to be better, that it will be better, or do you think that Filoni and Favreau will make the same exact mistakes as the first time?
They will make the same exact mistakes.
You think so?
And let me tell you why. Because Favreau is the one who seems to be big on this Godfather analogy with the fucking Boba Fett character, which I do not understand.
Yeah.
I don't even remotely get this,
Yeah.
Like, no one ever thought growing up, Boba Fett would do really well if it was like the Godfather. No, nobody said it. Nobody said it, bro. I'm actually listening to Paul Hirsch's audiobook, the editor on Star Wars, right? Edited Carrie. And he gets into the book, by the way, has a lot of great inside shit on it. Cause he's there with Francis, he's there with Marsha and all that, like early Marin County, LA fucking vibe. Bro, tons of inside shit on that. You gotta fucking dig into his book. First, the introduction, skip it. It's bullshit. But like fucking, where was I going? Oh yeah, like Coppola's like.
Who is it? Walter Murch?
Like Paul Hirsch, the editor on Star Wars. Yeah, other than everyone thinks Marsha Lucas solely edited the whole film on her by herself.
Oh, it was all her ideas, and George Lucas stole it from him because feminism.
Right.
I'm
but like
joking.
the idea that Francis Ford Coppola would be like, yeah, Star Wars it's just funny, man. It's just so funny to me. Like, but anyway, I think he will double down on the Godfather bullshit somehow. They'll give him a little Boba Fett and try to turn him into like make that Boba Fett the fucking mean Boba Fett, and they'll make our Boba Fett really fat and like, marble mouthed and shit. Like I'm just telling you, I just don't see them. I don't see Favreau going, "Oh yeah, I definitely got it wrong. We're gonna fix it."
Let's try and help Favreau here. Favreau, if you're not gonna fucking change course and you're gonna stick to your same bullshit,
yeah.
And that means you have to do Godfather 2, which means you have to do flashbacks, which means it's a whole different show in the flashbacks, but make them actual flashbacks this time. Not like last week, Well,
we're going to do that. We're definitely going to do that, but it's going to be the Mando. It's going to be the Mando in the flashbacks. Definitely. Yeah. I don't see them learning any lessons, Jason. Sorry. Yeah.
Bo says, "Sorry, but this guy is ugly." Ezra is supposed to be smoothly gorgeous. Fun.
What are you talking about?
Of all the fabulous Indian and Arabic actors, why this guy? This was the one time I give a shrift about the look of a Star Wars actor. So Bo is not having it. Bo is at half-mast for this guy. Just gonna say it. Chilean Airways.
I don't know. Look. I'm gonna hold on. When it comes to how an actor looks, portraying perhaps your favorite character, I once had to sit through the announcement that Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman. Okay, and before we ever saw a photo of what this could look like, and eventually John Schnepp's documentary that gave way further insight, before all of that. In 1997, I was confounded, okay? And then I went and saw a movie called Con Air. And I'm like, if he has the mullet and they give him that accent, I can watch Superman do this all day long. So if I myself, as a 1997's Rob, right? If you think I'm aggressive now, you should have seen how aggressive I was in 97. It's essentially Brody from fucking Mallrats.
I got dumped one time because my ex-girlfriend realized that I was like the guy in Mallrats, not in a good way. Like, well,
not in a good way.
I didn't fart.
It's all that white male nerd aggression, you know.
Yeah.
So we all chill out. But this dude, he looks fine, man. I don't know what you're talking. I wanted the one that looked like my friend because I just wanted to see my buddy, and I knew nobody was going to be on board with that. I just wanted it so much. I'm all for. Even now, I wish they would cast actors that look nothing like, like let's be honest. Nobody thought Colin Farrell should play the Penguin. And yet there we are, makeup aside, like the performance was still fucking super dope. Right.
Yeah.
So, I think, look, my guess is this dude is going to be like milquetoast to watch. I just don't see them casting. I don't see them writing or injecting insane personality into this character. Like if Filoni's anything to go off of, it's going to be a lot of like looks, and single little bits of word and characters with names you're going to always forget because that's what Filoni seems to do. But it'll look good.
I don't know if he came up with Ezra,
pictures.
but it's like one of the best names he picked, if he did pick it, overall.
We know Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin were going over, apparently there's a whole list of like Disney names that people name their babies after, right? And there's like an updated list. And I guess Thanos is on that list. Like, I don't know why people are naming their kid Thanos, but Kevin was confused by that. He goes, well, where's the Star Wars names? And like Anakin wasn't even high up on that list. Like Rey's like the number one. And then you got like some Kylos, some Leias, some Finns, some Anakins. And then Kevin goes, no Grogu? Mark almost had to die laughing because no one's fucking naming their kid Grogu. Like,
his name should have been Wolves. That's what I say.
His name should have been YOLO. All of those little bitches
to play the rap party.
They should have owned YOLO. I'm just telling you, man. They should have owned it. Just named him YOLO. Seriously.
I like short hair Ezra from season 4. He had more of an edge than his floppy curtains. Short hair Ezra reminds me of Freddie Mercury from the Game video. Give him the Flash shirt and he's ready to go. Open up your mind and let me step inside.
Flash.
That one. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's weird. He's like wearing the Flash shirt for that video. I was like, whatever, Freddie Mercury, do your thing. But his longest hair reminds me of Prince Caspian. Yeah. But it does have that vibe of the season 1 character. But once again, Ezra's not going to go back to looking like season 1 of the show. Like, why would he go through a transformation, getting the short hair? I think, doesn't he get like a scar? Am I remembering that right? And like all this stuff. And then like he grows up a bit. And then they're like, you know what? He got sent out into the wilderness. But I guess, I mean, it depends on, are they going to find him marooned or is he back and they just don't know where he's at because, the Empire's fallen and, AT&T, space AT&T and Verizon have crashed. I don't know.
His look ain't that far from the model. Like, I don't know what you people are looking for. This, like, how do I say this? Like, nobody was thinking Michael Keaton is Batman when they announced that. That's a really. I looked at the eyebrows and I'm like, oh, he's got those like Batman eyebrows. I could see that. Like that's what got me into it as a kid. That's not a. It's just weird. Like they announced Pattinson about he's not a Batman. He's just gonna cry all the time. And then he did that and everyone loved it.
He's a good Batman.
He literally walked in as the most emo Batman ever made, and people were like, give him a fucking Oscar. But 6 months before, he better not. He needs to have big muscles like my so I don't. You gotta wait till you see the dude in the role before you can fucking say one thing. Seriously, you got to. Like, look, if you are making a modern day take on this 1960s Batman, and you told me you cast George Clooney as an Adam West guy, I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help you that the fucking movie's a colossal piece of shit. Doesn't mean that guy was cast wrong, Like, that made
Yeah.
sense. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
could even get it right and still turn out a piece of crap. They're not gonna. I don't see
Well,
the show sucking though. Like, I don't.
I mean, they're using, it's Sarah Finn casting. It's a top casting agency in Hollywood. It's fucking up there. Doesn't get much better. So, I would expect him to be right in the role. You know what I mean? For the most part. But Chilean said, you said it was likely leaked today due to the sound checks for tomorrow. Does that mean this guy's going to show up with the Star Wars panel? Probably. He showed up on Twitter today too. So most likely. And then the other thing is that he's followed by the lady who plays not Bo-Katan, Sabine, and by Rosario Dawson. And which also could be another way that helped leak it too. People do that. They follow the social media and then do a hard bet. And sometimes it's right. But that was definitely moving around like the last 2 days from the D23 prep. Star Wars source just tweeted Mando 3 trailer will show tomorrow. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like I said, I mean, why wouldn't it? It's going to be, but it's probably not going to be for anybody who's not in the room. That's the other thing is there's a good chance just because it shows up at D23 during that panel doesn't mean that we're going to get it on the internet, which is why I'm conflicted about going or not going and why I'm probably going to go. So, Star Wars,
Which confounds Spreezy to no end, I'm certain. Why wouldn't you want to go see the trailer, mate? Why wouldn't you? Like,
it's on the internet already. This weekend we'll finish as a nothing burger. Got the clown suit ready. Yeah, it's like I said. I think it's going to be good for Lucasfilm if you're a fan of Lucasfilm, which I am. So if I get Indiana Jones, Willow, and some Star Wars shit, like I'm pretty satisfied. Do I think it's going to come out swinging for Star Wars fans and Star Wars fans exclusively are going to be like, they did it? They're not. They're going to be asking, why does Marvel keep doing all of this stuff and Star Wars doesn't? That's what probably they're going to say. That's my guess. Rebels is a 9 out of 10 good stories about 3 great arcs spread across 4 seasons, says Tyrant. 9 to 10 good stories. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done the math, but I'll take your word for that one. When I do a rewatch, maybe I'll pay more attention. Which yeah. Rick Jones says, I don't expect much, but trailers are nice though. Yeah, I mean it's the thing about D23, for instance. There was like I was at one. I went to all of the previous ones, I think. Maybe not the first one, but after the first one, I went to all of them. And because they own Star Wars after the first one. And they do shit like, oh, we'll get Johnny Depp to show up and have him dress up as Captain Jack Sparrow. And they will all shit their pants because they're all fame whoring morons. And they do shit like that. And
then those same people, Jason, they go right online and complain that they put Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Like,
Probably.
I don't know why they do it, but they, oh my God, like, it's just sacred. So funny.
Everything is sacred.
And nothing's sacred. Everything it isn't.
Yeah. But I won't lie. If they send Harrison Ford out dressed up as Indiana Jones tomorrow, I will punch Bob Chapek and go, you did it, you motherfucker. You did it. I will do that. I'm kidding.
I want to see them send Indiana Jones out dressed like Jack Sparrow. That's a real CEO baller move.
I want to see Indiana Jones shitting on Johnny Depp's bed. That's what I want to see. All right. But yeah, the
fuck
trailer,
out of my house.
Trailers are probably what we could expect. And then photos of like Kathleen Kennedy with her arm next to some other person who's going to be in the movie, like Ewan McGregor. Maybe they'll announce Kenobi 2 or The Intent. If they're smart, though, they'll stop announcing
It's
things.
called Kenobi 2, *The Intent.
Yeah.
All right.
Bo says animation grew him from a cute kid to good looking to handsome, and now yuck. I'm done now. Sorry. Really? That you're done with that? Well, gonna miss you, Bo. Gonna miss you. Jedi says,
See you at the premiere.
see you when it comes out, Bo.
See you at midnight. Quit. You can't quit.
Yeah.
You can't quit. You can't quit. You
Can't
You
quit.
can't. You can't quit. You want to, but you can't.
Star Wars makers will get nothing but that Andor clip again. Oh no, that would be terrible. But there's some news about Star Wars movies. I doubt it though. Yeah, the Skeleton Crew news is always welcome. I'm pretty sure we're getting that cast. That's what I was in Star Wars Meg's Discord talking about that yesterday. I'm pretty fucking sure. I'm not so sure I'm ready to go make a video going, guys, get ready, or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're getting.
Get ready.
Celebration footage, I expect some of, but they probably cut a new Mando trailer. See, that's where I think it just doesn't actually track. Why cut a new Mando trailer when you still have a Mando trailer that you made for convention audiences that hasn't really officially been shown outside of one convention center showing? So that's why they're going to go and they're going to hit it again, I think. So
that's the paycheck style. He hits it again.
It is. But that showcase was shit. Are you talking about the gaming one? The gaming
Shocking.
one back then? Was it nothing? Did they announce anything whatsoever? Bestman says, "Bro, I'm gonna name my child She-Hulk."
I approve of this.
Yeah,
that baby's gonna come out the womb twerking. Can't wait.
Star Wars makes us. Why do people expect live action depictions to be exactly the same as exaggerated animated form? Wait till they see Hera.
Wizard Magazine.
Uh-oh.
Because Wizard Magazine once put Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier in their fucking fan casting, and then they went and did it, and we've never been able to get rid of him since.
Yeah. Natasha's got it though. I can't lie. Natasha looks better than the cartoon character, for what it's worth to me anyway. Star Wars makes us, if it weren't for fans, Star Wars would have zero relevance in 2022. If it weren't for the fans, well, isn't that kind of always true? I mean, without the fans, does it exist? If a tree falls in the forest. Clone 543 says, will be very interesting to see how much of the show Amon's in. Could be an end of the season tease or a full plot running alongside of Sabine and Ahsoka. Yeah, it's really hard to say, and there hasn't really been any substantial leaks from it yet, not publicly that we could talk about anyways. Dave says Indiana Jones doing the sandbag switch with a turd at the Depp house. Yep, that's what I'm about, Dave. That's what I want to see. Indiana Jones and okay, anyways, Tyrant says this is terrible. I'm quitting Star Wars. Reminds me of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare Steam boycott Modern Warfare 2 due to no dedicated servers page, where on release day 95% of them were playing. And then Bestman says they announced a Captain America and Black Panther game. No Star Wars outside of Skywalker Saga DLC. Rest was crap, to be honest. And Star Wars makes us, I don't know, man. You'd hear from Lucasfilm once every 10 months while Marvel gets stuff on what feels like an hourly basis, 365 days a year. You're not wrong, Meg. No, you're not wrong. I mean, I'm with you there. It is.
Yeah. And I say you should go read the story of Marvel Studios book to understand why that is.
Yeah.
And Lucasfilm is set up and has maintained its ethos since the 70s. It is still doing what it was set up to do, and for the most part, with the same mindset it was set up to do 40 years ago. It wasn't there to generate thing after thing after thing after thing. It was to what are we going to do next because we're Lucasfilm, and we're going to put this away and then do this and go do this other thing and then maybe come back to this. And they've always been that way. And so that's not changing just because one other division of fucking Disney is making money doing well. Yeah. It's like you would think, Jason, after fucking Dumbo, Disney would have been like, time out on these live action remakes of our animated movies. Oh, no. Let's go get let's go get Zemeckis and have him do the creepiest CGI we've ever seen. And just 2000. What are you talking about? I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that why we ended up with 2020? I don't.
Well, I don't know. Like, it's kind of funny because, you know, it's like what we were talking about before. Like, you just can't make everybody happy. Nothing ever really makes sense. Like, there's people that say that Star Wars movies shouldn't come out. When they come out, they should always just be super special and almost rare. And then we have like, well, Marvel gets this. Why don't we get the Marvel thing? It's like, we can't have it both ways. I am more of the opinion of throw a bunch of shit out there with people doing their best work, and then some of it will become classic stuff, and it will be worth it, and some of it will be infuriatingly stupid, and that's just going to happen anyways. And I think if they make it limited and they try to make it like very exclusive and rare, I still think they're going to fucking make it bad. It will still come out bad sometimes because that's just how it's going to be sometimes.
And
so,
and for the record, I just want to say, 2019 should probably hang out with my wife more often because they would probably get along, you know, like, in terms of disagreeing with Rob. Like, doesn't, bro? she killed me. She kills me, bro. I told her I'd say this on the show so I could say it, right?
Okay.
We were watching. I put on one of those like vaporware videos on YouTube, right, of like malls with like synth or something, just some background shit because she didn't want to watch something. So I put that on, and it's got actual footage of malls. So the opening footage has someone camcorder and it said 1991, right? And then it's a montage of other stuff. Well, it gets this montage of software, etc., with a box of Windows 95, the Sony PlayStation, the Sega Saturn in the window. And I'm like, hey, fucking 1997 or whatever, right? 95, right? It's 95. And she goes, no, it's 1991. I'm like, no, that first video is 91. She's like, no, it said 1990. I'm like, it's Windows 95 and a PlayStation and a Sega Saturn. But like it says, she's like, well, I'm like, what are we doing? What are you like? I can't even, and she knew, you could see she knew, but I still have to be wrong. So I'm like, well, it makes for a good bit on the show. I'm wrong. Yeah. I'm out.
Hey, you win. So Rosie says, personally, I think the dude playing Ezra is hot. He looks like a prince. See? Tyrant says, let me Rob-splain to you all the ways this isn't possible. Yeah, my you know what? If I had one, I don't know. I don't even know if it's like a critique. It's just like when you're doing live action Luke Skywalker and you might be doing this like Jedi Order kind of thing, that could be, you know, on the horizon for this. I feel like that should be taken into account as well. Does this guy look good next to Luke Skywalker? I'm not saying he doesn't or he does, but it's kind of a hard read.
My hope is that in the casting process, he just had the best chemistry with the cast.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
but it,
that's my hope.
With Ezra, unless he croaks in this season or in the show.
The thing that here's where I get like the fan in me, right? And this is why the Inquisitor, I believe, is a different topic, because it's supposed to be an alien race that doesn't look fuck all like the alien race we already saw in the movie. Mm-hmm. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say, nah, it's like me saying the Duras are just fucking Nemodians, just they're on a budget. You going, no, they're not. Yeah, they are. They're just Nemodians on a budget. No, they're not. That's what the Grand Inquisitor is to me.
It's the stupid Ross in Star Wars, from the Star Wars dimension, where everybody's stupid.
Yeah.
He means Duros. Fake fan.
I said Duras.
You said Duras.
I said Duras.
Dress for
fucking fuck. Pretend, add a U to it, pretend we're in fucking Wales. All I gotta say is,
okay.
See, there you go.
Where Willow's filming.
I like your haha. Top hat and monocle, Jason's my favorite. AI is getting right on that image, by the way. So
right.
Like, we're getting it.
You fucking what?
I wish he gave us money when he typed that in, because that would have been the greatest super chat of all time.
So the Nile file says, nice haircut. I have a feeling Ezra is going to come back tuned to the dark side and besties with Thrawn. His redemption could mirror Anakin, maybe even getting help from Jason Syndulla to turn back. Yeah, that's anyways. Yeah, that's kind of like where I was going. Is are they going to go alternate? Sort of alternate pathway to the Skywalkers so that they don't have to kill Grogu and Ezra, or are they going to end up putting? Because like when I look at like what's on the table right now, it doesn't mean anybody survives to the point. But we could have a point where you have Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Ezra Bridger, Grogu, and that guy from the video game. What was his name? I remember his name right. The redheaded guy.
Kyle Katarn?
Kyle, I think is his name. I think it's a bit like Carl Jenkins.
Matt Berry. Kyle Katarn.
Stevie McWonder. Anyways, the guy from Fallen Order. And
yeah. Leatherface.
He
looks like Leatherface.
Cal Worthington. Same thing.
Cal Worthington. You got to be a Southern California kid to know who Cal is.
With the dog spot.
Yeah. But, that's almost a Cobra Kai like level reference right there.
Yeah. But where I'm going with this is if that does happen, if they do Avengers this bitch, they need to like I want that to also like feel good together, not just because of member berries. Like I is that asking too much though? Maybe it is. Maybe that's not fair to ask, the person who's doing the casting on Ahsoka to think that far ahead. But I also think that's a possibility though.
But Jason, that's what a movie's for. You put them all together in the fucking movie, and everyone fucking shows up, and everyone's fucking happy, and people's only gripe is, felt a little nostalgic. Great, I'll take that fucking hit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like no problem.
Yeah, people were mad.
As Top Gun makes $700 million domestically.
when the criticisms were hitting for Attack of the Clones, some people weren't even hitting the stuff to criticize. They were criticizing the fan service, and I was like, yeah, so what? On that one, I'm like, yeah, they're clones, they're Boba Fett, and they're clones. Like that's fucking fun as shit. That's what I love about the movie for the most part. But
the Book of Boba Fett could have used more fan service in that way. You know what I mean? It's the new shit. I'm like, everyone goes, it's the old stuff they get wrong. The new stuff, no, the new shit in Boba Fett was fucking horrible.
Yeah,
like, outright the worst.
Yeah, that was the stuff that wasn't working as much. Yeah, it's weird though. It's a weird balance. I don't think that Star Wars is ever going to catch up to Marvel or be able to do things like at the Marvel thing because like so much like we talked about before is made in New York. Takes place in New York. They're in a car and they're just driving down the fucking freeway in the opening of She-Hulk. You know what I mean, or whatever in the forest or whatever, and then the ship comes. Like that doesn't take. It's not the same as like when they have to do something in Star Wars. And then now we're criticizing the fact that they filmed that part in Joshua Tree or something.
You know what Star Wars is more like? It's like trying to make a big cinematic universe out of just the Toy Story characters. You know what I mean? It's a very specific thing that has a large reach, but it's not a super diverse. You could say Star Wars is diverse through casting, but what I'm trying to say is you're not going to you're getting a totally different audience from people who show up for Ant-Man to Black Panther to Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're getting them all to come together on an Avengers film.
What's a Nubian?
Chasing Amy's greatest line. So, like, you're welcome. But yeah, Hooper and Banky. So good. It's so good. Yeah, I still believe Lucas put that fucking Nubian line in the Phantom Menace as a response to Chasing Amy. I was the only one cackling in the theater when he said that.
Did you ever listen to the Attack of the Clones commentary track?
Yes.
And he straight up goes, if you watch Clerks, you know that these are the contractors from Clerks or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was aware. That's
where he also talks about it's where he also talks about, Lucas talks about the Vietnam photography that he specifically put in Attack of Clones sequence,
Yeah.
and how he was specifically rendered. So all these fuckers who were like, "Oh, I want Star Wars to be political." Oh, great. Let's go talk about the prequels. We don't have to take it back to Jedi. Let's go, or even the first fucking film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's go to Attack of the Clones, where Lucas is on the fucking record, on the commentary. We should dig it up, put it in there, and then put pictures,
I mean, if anybody wants to help, if anybody wants to start pulling, we can make a little file of time Star Wars was like political, and just like a super cut. And whenever anybody says it, we can just link to the super cut and just let them sit there, and then they can figure out what the political bias of Star Wars has always been. Darth Maximus says, "I just now noticed Rob's background from Real Genius." Popcorn.
You win. You win. You win. It's my favorite. I fucking love the ending. That is such a dark topic at the end that gets turned into a big fun bit. The 80s did that so well. I mean, they were hiring smart kids to help them create a nuclear space laser Akira weapon, so they could assassinate their political opponents, like Ronnie Reagan style.
As a kid, I wasn't much of a fighter. I didn't want to fight. I didn't see people want to attack them, but the kid from Real Genius, I just want to beat the shit out of him still. Something about him. He looks like if like Adam Driver and Morty from Rick and Morty went into that fly machine. There's just something about him.
I thought his girlfriend was Joan Cusack for the longest time. Just, I don't know what it is. In my head, she's very similar. But,
is it weird that I was always attracted to Joan Cusack with a neck brace? Does that make sense? I can't explain it. Chilean Airways says, yeah, it's weird.
Man, I was shockingly stunned and bewildered and smitten with Goldie Hawn when she had a big hole in her fucking torso. Go figure.
That's still Goldie Hawn back then.
She's wet. She's like, it's the whole
bit. You know what? You look like you're in a cutscene from Beetlejuice. It's fine. Does anyone know how old Iman is? There's no there's no info about him online. And
smart actor. Get his publicist.
How old are you? How old do you want me to be? Like, why do you have that accent? I don't know.
You're Rick McCollum. Why do you have that accent? Because I watched Puss in Boots 17 times and now I talk like this. No, Rick, you can't do that, Rick. It's so dense. It is so dense.
I was doing the audition and I was dying and I said, "Not today, death." But
I said, "No, we get no Vanderbeeks." No Vanderbeeks on this movie. No.
You were talking earlier about how you had to like something in your head that we were joking about.
Yes.
Fucking, I can't remember the line now, which is weird because I had it in my head. But that line from Game of Thrones where she's like, "I lived in the pleasure houses since I was 7 years old." I was like, what is this writing sometimes? Yeah. But Iman is definitely within the range of 1 to 100 years old. Yeah. I mean, he looks like he could be a really young, good-looking 29, 30 years old. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
He looks like a hard-edged Spreezy. Like if Spreezy,
hard-edged Breezy.
Yeah, like Spreezy's the Soch and that's the Greaser. You know what I mean? Yeah, these two.
Because like when I see him in the picture, like where like the boxing pictures and stuff, he looks like he's like 28, 29 years old. So I'm gonna estimate his age range to be a very young looking 30. But
look, in a just world, we would still have celebrity deathmatch, and that guy would be fighting Kylo Ren this weekend. So
Jamie
bring
says,
back celebrity deathmatch.
I always thought the kid from Real Genius was actually a girl, just a weird looking girl. No, not Val, the kid at the science fair at the beginning. Yeah. No, he looks very like plasticky face. As a kid, I couldn't tell if the prince from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was a girl or a boy. And like the voice dubbing, I can't remember any of the lines, but it's like, "I have always felt," it has like that fucking thing. And like they call him a prince. And I'm like, but is it really a boy? Like as a kid.
You didn't grow up Catholic, Jason. Otherwise the choirs would make a lot more sense to you. Yeah.
Just like preach to him. Sam the Sham says, Iman just posted a Twitter an hour ago with an audio clip of him talking about it and has major Ezra vibes. Stars makes sense. He sounds a lot like Taylor to Sam the Sham. So interesting. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna call it a show, and because I'll be back tomorrow to do another show. Rob, I'm sure you'll be busy, but if you're not, or if any news inspires you to want to get on, I'll send you the invite. If you can make it, cool. If you can't, Saturday I wouldn't come if I didn't have to. Kidding, I would. But you're a sensible man with responsibilities and loved ones. And
no, I'm sitting right here working. I just don't want to turn the camera on and talk about D23. Like, I'm doing what you're seeing right now is what I'll be doing 24 hours from now, guaranteed. Okay. I just don't want to talk about this.
But what if the Indiana Jones trailer comes out? You coming on if the Indiana Jones trailer comes out? You see Indiana Jones swinging around, punching Nazis in the face, looking young.
If it's a real trailer we can all look at on YouTube, yes. If it's some bullshit, like when they sent us,
if it's some bullshit that third-hand stuff I'm telling you about,
yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. If you thought you were gonna get robbed, you're not. But anyways, no. I plan to be back tomorrow, and unless it's really fucking dumb, in which case, if fucking
Reddit's like, don't come back. Why? It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Where you get all the news? Where you get all the news? It's not fair.
JJ Jason. Yeah, I'm J Jonah Jason. That's what my uncle used to call me when I was a kid. And I thought, you know what, that should have been my pen name for the scoop and stuff. I should have used my real name. I should have went with Jonah Jason the whole time.
I don't think Tyrant gets Avatar 2. I'll be too busy watching it in 3D because I have the contacts. They will send me the trailer in 3D and I will be watching it over and over again. I don't care.
I am with Rob in that I think Avatar is going to be a smashing success, and I don't think it is going to make any sense, but it is. And when I've seen the trailer now a few times in the theater, and there is like absolutely no reaction to it though. So I think when it comes time for Avatar,
I want to go alone.
But I think when it comes out, I think they're going to push it really hard and correctly, and then it'll do fine.
I'm begging you all to not see the movie so I don't have to have you in the theater with me. I want to go by myself. And I don't want to pay for the theater by myself. I just don't want anyone there. So please don't see the movie.
Well, you want everybody to see the movie so that way you can see part 3.
No, they already made 3. They're making it, whether if you see it or not. So, I don't care.
In part 4, they go into fire.
Not great. Whatever. I just don't want anyone there with me, Jason. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to convince you not to go. Oh. Something tells me, Jason, they're all going to be in the fucking theater. Like everyone, these fuckers will be there, and I'm going to be, why?
Well, all I know is Meg is very sad about the Queen because she has to be. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not. I think it's funny. Bye, old lady. Hope say hi to Satan for us. We'll be back. Oh, I'll be back tomorrow. Rob probably won't be unless they really drop some serious shit, And I'll see you guys then. Be cool. Stay in school.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.